Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's your boy Polycap, and today we're gonna ask a really interesting question, which is, what is the relationship between God and a human being? Looking into it, we're gonna use a variety of different tools. We're gonna use quotes from Alan Watts. We're gonna look into a YouTube channel, Wisecrack actually, and they're one of my favorite YouTube channels. So I'm gonna play some clips from them, and then I'll kind of discuss a little bit about how those break down into the two different concepts that we've talked about. But this is a really interesting thought process and question because it will lead us to profound understandings of the inner workings of the universe. And I think, if anything, we're interested in that, and that's kind of why you're here. So yeah.
Supposing that what was true about Jesus as a Son of God is true of us. Only a few of us know it. And we are pretty careful to be quiet about it, lest the same thing happen to us as happened to Jesus.
For German philosopher Ludwig Feuerbach, whose name means fire stream, but I digress, God was the primary engine of alienation during the 19th century. Humans created the figure of God, according to Feuerbach, and instilled him with their highest ideals: justice, love, wisdom, and so on. But, being a forgetful species, they forgot, looked at this virtuous God and said, hey, we're so much like this guy, he made us just like him. In this way, the fact that man made God in man's image is inverted to God created man in God's image. As a result, Christianity is alienating. We become estranged from our ideals, ourselves, and each other because we can only relate to them through the medium of God, a figure that we've since lost control of. For Feuerbach, the biggest problem isn't that we invented God, it's that we inverted our relationship to God and said he created us. Feuerbach thinks that God is the ultimate object of thinking man, a creation that speaks to the unlimited potential of our reason.
You're probably wondering, what is this concept of alienation? Personal alienation it describes what a lot of people feel today. We feel estranged in this social society that we live in. We feel estranged to the work that we do. We feel alienated from each other. We can only connect and communicate through these devices. They've become more of an intermediary to actually talking and interacting with other people. I mean, I've been a victim of it myself, and that's kind of why I'm making a video about it, because I feel alienated from the world. I feel like there's no real connection between me and the world, and I use these brands and these things, these commodities that allow me to connect to other people, because our society is capitalistic and it runs on these commodities and these things that we create, and we create things that alienate us, and that's interesting as hell. And so we'll jump into how Karl Marx puts this together.
Commodity fetishism. Commodity fetishism works a lot like Feuerbach's alienation, and it should. Its creator Karl Marx appropriated Feuerbach's work for his own ends. For Marx, instead of God mediating human relations, commodities do. We imbue commodities with abstract value in such a way that everything becomes commodified. For both Feuerbach and Marx, the world is the object of collective human labor, a labor that affirms our species being or our membership to the human race. Alienation destroys that species being because the world that we collectively build together has now been hijacked by someone or something else.
So what both Marx and Ludwig have agreed upon is that humanity comes up with these abstract concepts that they choose to believe in, and we choose to follow because they help us form societies. Now, commodity fetishism is an example of how some of the abstract concepts we build upon that turn into reality, such as social media, money, because money is an abstract concept. Money represents something, so it's the faith that we have in the money that allows it to have value, and so that allows us to trade. But when we're building things such as building our entire society, the buildings, this is, how food is generated, and electricity and water, and these basic needs. Why don't we just cut the middleman of money and go straight to building that? We can have a point system. This is actually what I was trying to solve with polyocracy. You remember back when and I'm still doing it. Now I'm doing it differently though. I think I have a much better idea about what I am doing, what I'm building, what's my purpose, what's my role in the grander scheme of things. Because at the end of it, it's kind of why I decided to write a book and really change how things work and function. And so I'll talk a lot more about the cities we'll build, how they'll function, because that ties into the grander scheme of things. But understanding some of these basic concepts about alienation, commodity fetishism allows me not to at least circumvent and sidestep some of these negative parts of capitalism and the societies that we kind of live in. Like, America is a great society, don't get me wrong. I love living in America. But if we are to build cities of the future, then we have to learn about what are some of the shortcomings of the societies that are working right now and how to improve them. Because my whole thing is I'd rather have an evolution rather than a revolution, because revolutions are messy and terrible and I just don't like them. And so I choose to have more of an evolution of current systems, evolve them into their best versions rather than revolt them, destroy them, and build something new, which doesn't work very efficiently, and a lot of people go through a lot of pain. And how that ties into God, because we started off with the relationship between man or human beings and God, because the relationship between human beings and God is similar to the relationship of money and God. For these relationships, these things that we've set our belief systems upon, what if we built a world with no money, or no work, or no God? Jeez, that's crazy. Will a world like that even exist? Like, I've never thought of a world with no God. Never, up until this moment. But nonetheless, I guess we're both thinking of it now. So let me know in the comment section. Other than that, I will go ponder that a little bit, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, you stay awesome. Toodles.